All right, welcome back. We are on Ohana. This is your final series of the evening, and it is, of course, 1:30 a.m. on the East Coast. So we're going to get right into these player introductions. I'm pretty sure this is a rematch. Correct me if I'm wrong. He might have, yeah, this is a rematch. He won it the first time around, so he is your Green Zerg, representing nobody but his fine self. He is Neuralisk.
Yay! And to try and match that level of enthusiasm, down here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have someone going for a command center quite early. It is Templar Gaming's Battle4Ever.
I think that was a fair chance of matching my intensity. You know, I think you've just got a slightly lower voice, but it's not less intense. You know what I mean? It's just naturally there. The intensity comes through in a different way, is what I'm trying to say.
It is. I suppose. It's less intense. I have gravitas.
There we go. Yeah.
That's what I like to. That's what I like to think. Gravitas.
I agree for sure. I do like this early Marine coming out of Battle4Ever. He's going to go ahead and deny this Overlord from getting any sort of scouting information if he can survive long enough to do it, because of course there are some Lings making their way across. He's going to get it, right? Yeah.
He'll get that one. The other one might be saved.
Oh.
See, they're going after pulling the old double deuce there.
Uh-oh.
But then the second reinforcing Marine, and these Lings have gotten lazy as shit.
Oh, God. He's going to get it. Get it. Oh, so close. He's going to... No,
he's going to get the high ground. Oh, is he going to... But he should have...
Oh, wow. Now he's going to... Now the Marines are going to die.
Yeah.
So were they worth it?
That's kind of weird. So the guy on the high ground did not give vision to that high ground.
Yeah, no, it was one up. It's a third tier.
It's a third tier one, yeah.
It's a little higher than the second part.
Oh.
I would have liked to have seen him be able to get that one. But So what do we have coming out of Neuralisk? Because that's what we were talking about was going to make the difference in this in this game. And he's got 2 gases now taken in this natural. And Neuralisk is going to go ahead and scout, or rather, Battle4Ever is going to go ahead and scout the main and see the 2 gases taken at the main. If you see this, and you don't know, this means there's some form of pressure coming. Like there's, it's almost always the case. And of course, you can go back and check on the natural to see if they're fully saturated, which I think one of them isn't, but now it is. If you want to go, just make damn sure. But if you see that, just don't make any qualms about it. There's pressure coming your way.
Yeah, something's afoot. Basically, he's got the second command center has turned into an orbital. He's not actually producing SCVs out of either. Now the main one is, but he kind of got that early to not be using it. But I think maybe he has sensed that obviously something's going to happen, and he's looking at what he can do about that.
I think.
Yeah, he's going to try this full wall off here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he is making a good response to it. Of course, nothing is actually on the map and ready to come down. Neuralisk is just making a Roach Warren and taking a third. I think one thing that could improve Battle4Ever's play a little bit is if he took a second earlier. A lot of people have a difficult time when they're first starting out this game, or they're not at a high enough level yet, where they think they can't take their natural. It's because for a couple of reasons. Ooh, he's going to lose that Reaper. They think it's for a couple of reasons, like they can't, contain something, or they can't micro as well. But taking your expansions are all about exponential returns. It's like investing. You got to start soon. The sooner you start, the better it is. And here's the thing: the only way you get better at it is if you try it. So I think if Battle4Ever were to take, it's the 9-minute mark, and he's just now putting down his natural. I think he needs to take it a little sooner, and I think it will pay dividends. Because if you have a siege tank against Zerg, you're fine for some time. Like, nothing can really kill you unless it's like a Roach Baneling all in and you get unlucky and you don't scat it. But he had a Reaper. He had map control for some time. He would have seen it coming.
That's definitely true. And as a Terran, too, if you're wrong, you could just lift it. There's nothing really that the Zerg's going to have early that can kill it if you lift it. But, yeah, to your greater point there, I kind of struggled. I remember struggling with taking a third on time, and I still don't do it as soon as I should. But for a period of time, I just said, no matter what is happening in the game, if I hit the 10-minute mark and I don't have a third, I take it. And what was preventing me was like what you said. I didn't feel like it was safe to. I didn't feel like I had the control to do it. But then I found like 80% of the time that I did it, I either did not get attacked or I did have the control to do it. So you'll find when you, just because you don't think it's safe doesn't mean you're right. And sometimes you can prove yourself wrong with that sort of thing.
Now, to be fair, of course, we have total vision. He doesn't, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's limiting that. But I will say that a lot of players suffer from like fog of war being too limiting as opposed to using it to their advantage. The thing is sure, you can't see what they're doing, and therefore you don't know if you can take a third, and not as a bunch of roaches move out and Hellions do. But I'm going to talk about this point really quickly. If you can't see what they're doing, obviously they can't see what you're doing at the same time, right? So, that should be to your advantage. So risks, of course, the name is risky, but if you don't take that second, if you don't take that third, you're guaranteed to lose, as opposed to having just a chance to lose.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You get more is lost through indecision than through actual action. Yeah,
exactly.
It's that sort of thing. He's getting a good number of tanks up here. He's even adding on a third factory and actually getting another command center now, which is good. +1 weapons are about to finish.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about is how I totally miscalled the early aggression coming out of Neuralisk. Turns out he just used all that gas for tech. So I completely miscalled that one. That's on me. He's instead getting an early infestation pit. Of course, he's going to lead to an early hive. He's getting another hatchery down. He's already got a Hydra den up, and look at the upgrade tabs coming in. He's getting +2 armor and missile attacks. He's getting range, and he's getting speed for his Hydras and Roaches. Like, it's business time for this player. And I think Battle4Ever, sensing that a little, is going to go ahead and move out at a pretty good time.
Yeah, Hive
just now started.
Like, he's just getting everything that he can get. And he's going to have Hive timed out pretty well to just continue along with, like, 3-3.
Yeah.
Which often Zergs will get stuck there. And then that's when they lose pace to a Terran. But he's going to have that in plenty of time, and even getting his fourth just up now. But
we'll see here. This is a lot of siege tanks with his army, and he's going to go ahead and come around it. He's going to be able to flank it if he goes for it. And these siege tanks are sieging on the lookout, and he has no idea where these roaches are, and they're going to come in from behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice flank here to just pick off the most important units, getting the tanks, getting the Thors, and not enough support for these Hellbats at all.
That's really rough, and that's unfortunate because I think Battle4Ever could have made that work. He just got a little too deep on Creek, and there's kind of a creep rather than Creek. I think that's a little bit of a lesson for you there. Don't ever take that fight on Creep. Mech is not the most mobile units, so when you go through, and of course I hope he watches this replay, and you go through and watch this, you push too far on Creep, Battle4Ever. Make sure that if you're an E-mobile army, like not as mobile, of course, as Bio is, Bio has a rough time going on Creep. But if you don't know what's out there, like especially on Creep, throw a scan.
Yeah. Even if the creep, and people forget this sometimes, even if the actual creep is not evaporated yet, as long as you've killed the tumors, they lose their vision, and that's one of the big keys. Yeah,
I mean the vision is of course
that's what
more important in my opinion than the movement.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he was, and he knew exactly when to engage, and he waited for the Hellbats to get out of position, and then he did it. He had full information, and his opponent didn't have it.
Yeah, a lot of I was looking at this this Zerg player, a GM Zerg player who is streaming, and he's called the Zin Zerg. Have you ever seen this guy?
I think so, yeah.
He always plays shirtless. One of his, he's got a lot of quotes that are, really funny, but they're good, and they actually make sense. And one of them was, pay, information is key, it's golden, pay for information. And, that's a good point. Information which is scouting, which is seeing, sight, right, visibility, is as good as units. It is, because it makes a difference in these engagements. Neuralisk, though, with a 200 army, Vipers, Roaches, Hydras, 3-3 coming in, looking pretty okay. And I mean, just the difference in the league between these two players, I think you can see is just paying dividends. And Neuralisk is going to push with this army and make stuff happen.
Yeah, the Vipers and their use is going to be really key here. The tanks start shelling down. Expect either blinding clouds or the pulls. There come the blinding all over the tanks. Nice tank spread, though.
Yeah, really good tank spread, making him use more
but I just
blinding
don't
clouds
think
than he would
it's
have
going
rather
to end up
had.
being enough. Yeah.
I mean, he did hold that way better than I expected, but like Neuralisk is re-upping instantly. Like he's already back to 185 out of 200. The SCVs are pulled, and the siege tank is able to hold this off.
It's his siege tank. I can say that his siege tank positioning throughout everything we've seen tonight is really good. He's splitting them by a good amount. Each of those blinding clouds had to individually go down.
Yeah, and we do see a bio switch coming out of Battle4Ever, but with no medevac support, you can only stem so many times.
Yeah, very, very true. He does drive that back, but unfortunately there is
another
remax, like you said.
Yeah, so at this point in the game, I just want to mention, if you're on 2 bases and it's 18 minutes, now is not the time to be tech switching.
No.
Good pull there.
Yeah, he just has to go after these tanks now, and everything else becomes a matter of attrition.
Yeah.
And there's a blinding cloud on, just kind of missed the tank there. Yeah, so just the one in the high ground, he'll probably yank that down. Yeah. And that's kind of the last line of defense, but...
Yeah. So there's the League of Legends micro coming forward with the yank there from those Vipers. In the end, I don't think either player learned a lot from this match about each other. Battle4Ever sticking with the mech until the very last moment, at which point it wasn't viable. Of course, these Marines are going to get gobbled up. And there's a good game, well played, coming from Battle4Ever, keeping with the good manner that we have seen throughout the stages of this tournament.
I assume we're on, right? Like, he's never told us, but yeah, I figured that we were. And
you did?
I don't think you did.
Oh.
But we are here now on this game. We never know. Sometimes his videos are like 8-10 minutes long.
Hilarious.
But up here on the top right-hand side, we have Neuralisk, the green Zerg player, who already has a pool and a hatch and everything like that, and is fending off a Reaper.
And his opponent, and before I introduce his opponent, I want to remind everyone that my name is Tyrannus.
Whatever.
That is Taranis, not Tanaris. His opponent's spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, already doing some microing with his Reaper. He is down 1 game, trying to fight for his tournament life. Of course, the light blue Terran, Templar Gaming's Battle4Ever.
Ooh.
No peace involved with this kid.
Always battle. That is a good point, Tendonitis.
He's a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
We're keeping the Star Wars theme going tonight.
We gotta. There's so much passion. This is the battle of good and evil. And Battle4Ever is supposed to bring balance to the daybreak. Something like that, I don't know.
It seems like he's switching it up and he's going for bio this game.
Yeah, this is opening a bit different. He's getting a factory too, but he's got the double barracks out, and this time with add-ons. I think in the very first game, we saw him get double barracks, but no add-ons, just make it. And definitely no upgrade here. He's getting stim already, so this is quite a deviation from where he's been before. Also, he had it, the really early games, he hadn't gone for the Reaper, and of course he's doing that now, so...
Yeah, I think he went for a Reaper last game on Ohana, because I remember him. Yeah, but I don't think he did in the first series.
Yeah. No.
So not going into Hellions or anything like that. He's actually just going to go straight into Stem. So that's what he's using his gas for. But he is getting a pretty decent gas pool. And of course, if you go bio as opposed to mech, that tends to be the case. We do have a third taken for Neuralisk. I think Neuralisk is feeling really comfortable right now about his chances with ending this series, this game. Playing with a lot of confidence, and we see that because he's making 26 lings that are about to pop out on the map.
Yep, and do we have any sign of a Baneling Nest yet? He is going for 3 more gases at the same time. Also the double Evo. This almost looks like he's doing a similar, I'm just going to power at the tech sort of thing.
Yeah.
He could switch this into a lot of aggression. Obviously, there are a lot of lings.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he can get done with the Lings if he tries to do anything with the Lings. He might just have him for defense, but I mean, he knows that Templar Gaming's Battle4Ever likes to just do the mech pushes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Lings aren't necessarily great for that, but they are good for denying expansions because they're pretty quick and they can run around and, you know, dart in and around and do their thing. So that's pretty much what he's just going to do now. He's just going to leave him right there at the natural of Battle4Ever and get his upgrades in.
Yeah, the Hellions coming down to take a few shots here. The one at the bottom of the ramp actually leading to a lot of those Lings clumping up and, yeah, leading to their death. So he will be able to go for that float down. Like you said in the last game, it's about 9 minutes before he's doing that, which is a bit on the late side, obviously. A good guideline, too, if you don't know if you're doing it too late, if your worker count on your mineral patches is going above 16, then you need another set of mineral patches. So, yeah, you want it landed before that occurs.
Yeah, and a lot of pros, don't get the wrong idea, will of course oversaturate their mineral lines and then transfer. But that's not what we're referring to here. Is like as soon as you need to be ready to take that third handedly and be able to defend it when you're about approaching that time. So, and that's of course just a base mark. You know, that's not StarCraft 2 like a lot of things.
Situations will happen and whatever, but that's a good if assuming all things equal, that's what you should be aiming for.
Yeah. These Hellions and Marines are going to poke in here at the third, and they're not going to like what they find, because that's a lot of Lings and a couple Banelings that are going to be able to dish out a lot of damage.
I think he did explode a few of the Banelings on a Hellion or two, that he maybe didn't need to.
Yeah, anytime you trade minerals for gas, I think is a good trade.
And it looks like you got a Spire coming out for Neuralisk this time around.
Yeah, not necessarily an early Spire by any means, but 3 base Muta, of course, that's the logical transition if you're going to do Ling, Bane, Muta. I don't think that Battle4Ever has really done the bio game a lot because he doesn't really have any medevac support, and he's kind of playing like a Wings of Liberty style, which is Marine tank, with the occasional Hellion sprinkled through, and that necessarily doesn't work too often because you need the mobility and you need the lucky Widowmine hits to be able to shoot up at these things called mutas.
Yeah, definitely true here. And the few things missing are, one, the starport, like you're saying. He at least is putting down turrets now. But also the armory. It's having just a Thor or two out can be quite a deterrent to the mutas.
And honestly, that's really all you're going to want to be doing. If you have Widow Mines and turrets and you get like those really nice clumpy shots, they come once every 5 games against Zergs who like to play a lot of mutas. They're generally really good control with their mutas. You're just trying to dissuade them away from your bases so they don't harass your mineral lines, so you have the time to consolidate and push. Like, if you're defending against mutas for a long period of the game, that's what Zerg wants you to do. And by the time you push out, oh my God, how come they have Broodlords, Swarm Hosts, Corruptors, everything in between? You know, what you want to do is you just want to dissuade the mutas away from your mineral lines, so you can have the time to take and go out. Of course, we don't have many mutas on the map right now. That's 0 total, so nothing on the way. But of course, with Zerg, Larva, Spire, you can make them whatever you want.
Yeah, and he's going right up to Hive too, so for all we know, this is intended to go directly into Broodlord. Maybe he's just anticipating more mech and wants to control the air that way and didn't actually intend to do any muta harass at all.
I mean, not a bad idea, and at least as these Lings are going to go ahead and try and get us around in these. All the Marines go ahead and stem, and the Banelings aren't getting the best detonations. They do take out a big clump of Hellions there, but you know, pretty decent for Battle4Ever. And like we were talking about earlier, his engagements seem to be good.
Yeah.
But the stuff behind it is what I think he's lacking a little bit. We do have 2 Thors coming out now, but he still hasn't taken his third at the 14-minute mark. It's a little worrisome if you're going to be, you know, keeping up with Zerg. The thing is, and I just want to make this point for any young little Terrans out there watching, because myself, I am a little baby Terran, and I will probably continue to be for the rest of my life, but you need to do damage against Zerg earlier than this. You can't let them drone up. Oh, Banelings are going to come in. And this is what I'm talking about, right? So he wouldn't have had the larva or the units to be able to remax that quickly had he been able to inflict damage early on in the eco and the drone count.
Yeah, they've really got to be stopped. When you watch pro Terran players, they're basically harassing from like the 3 to 4 minute mark onwards.
Yeah.
And they don't let up.
They never stop.
Yeah, they just never let up. It's Reaper into Hellion into Banshee into
Marine
eventually
drops.
a push. Yeah, like it's that sort of thing. The Thor's going to try and push these mutas away. Gets one there.
Ooh, he didn't cancel
second
that.
one. Yeah. Yeah, probably paying attention to the Thor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just pick off a couple of the mutas here and drives them away. And you're right in saying that you really just want to keep them a little bit away. I've had conversations with people where they say, like, I put up like a turret or two, I put up cannons or something, but the mutas can come in and just kill those things. It feels like I would need 10 to actually stop them. And yeah, that's true. But the idea is that they come in and they must deal with the turret. And in those 2-3 seconds, you get your Marines over there, and then you get your Thors over there,
Right.
or something. And
Right.
it's either going to drive out. It makes them have to think, if I go in here, I have to commit to losing like 9 Neuralisks.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. It's a deterrent. It's not a you can't beat this.
Yeah. The Muta is almost a unit that is intent on gambling its life just for SCVs. But Zerg, if in a perfect life, Zerg will never lose a single Muta. If you're able to take out a Muta, they'll run the hell away because they're little precious babies. Zergs that love to play with Mutas are like Protoss with the Oracles. They're like Terran with Banshees. It's just that unit that's just so delicate and it's yours. Like all it requires is good micro, good paying attention to, and you shouldn't lose that number. This is so many Banelings.
It is.
I mean, what's the
so
number
many
on that?
Banelings. 51 coming at the same time. Yeah, that consumed a lot of the gas bank, but he still gets some. 85 drones this time around.
Really healthy number, yeah.
Yeah, upgrades going crazy. He's approaching 3-3. Yeah, just a good composite, like the most standard like composition here, basically. Just a lot of it.
Yeah. The only thing that, if we're talking about things that Neuralisk could improve, I think its creep spread could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Of course, he's focusing on 18 million different things, and in the end, it doesn't really matter because he's got this many units. The Hellion sees it. The Hellion sees what he's up against. He was able to get a radio call back base and say, guys, we're in for it. Blue Flame Hellions are going to kite. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage. All the Banelings coming down on a Thor. Now the Hellions are going to be able to get away, but is it too little too late? What's going to shoot the Neuralisks? Neuralisk's actually taken a drop in supply just for a little second there until his production kicked in and was able to re-up again.
Yeah, and of course what he's re-upping with the 6 Ultralisks.
Jeez.
But having these Banelings explode on a Thor, 2 Thors, is not going to be cost efficient.
Right.
And it wasn't there, but he couldn't stay and fight because, like you said, he lost all his anti-air, but he traded pretty well. It's just that he's so far kind of on the back foot on this game that, there's really nothing, like, I don't know how many Hellions it would take to kill an Ultralisk. but
I've never actually had that battle before.
It'll be a lot. Yeah, I don't know.
Ultras are pretty slow, so he's got that going for him. But these guys look pretty quick.
Kite it forever.
These guys look like they've got chitinous plating, and they look like they've got some Vespeed gas coming off their lobster claws. And now he sees the Hellions, or he sees the Ultras. Oh wow! Oh wow!
Okay,
well,
we'll find out.
Just watching. I think this is just
this poor unfortunate
itself,
tank. Yeah. Oh, this hero tank, actually. I thought he was just going to be hung out to dry here.
Hold it down.
These are the best SCVs ever.
I mean, the Hellions are the little hearts out.
Yeah, he could do this full run. Oh, check this out. No, he didn't do it.
Oh, the fungal.
He just ran over 2 infestors that could have fungled the entire group.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Well, this is interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this before, but I really like what I'm watching.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. You don't you definitely don't see this composition because usually Hellion time is over.
Yeah.
By the time you'd ever get to Ultralisks. So yeah, you don't often see those two face each other.
That turret is going to finally shoo away this Overlord a little bit and go. He's just going to start laying down some creep over there out of the range of the turret, so you're not going to be able to still take a third. I think Battle4Ever gets in this position, and I think he knows where he's at right now. Those Hellions are the only thing doing any sort of DPS right now. That tank has got 18 kills, but he no longer exists. Where do you go from here as a Terran player? And the answer is, well, I guess you keep doing this little race car. Track around.
That's it. The only thing I could think to do at all, and he's pretty well covered with Spines of the Fourth, is this is a lot of Hellions. Maybe
drones.
Just split them up and run them into drones.
Yeah.
And make him bring this back home, and then maybe you can come up with an idea after that.
Oh, I like the neural parasite going on in the tank.
Nice. Yeah, here we see the answer to the question. How many Hellions does it take to kill an Ultralisk?
Well, too many.
And it turns out that all of them is not enough.